Begin the Gemara today on Daf Hey Amud Aleph, right at the beginning of the Amud, where it says Ulaman da Omar. This is a continuation from the Gemara before, where it discusses a machlokes regarding the case of Heilach. The case of Heilach is by a Meide B'Miktsas. One of the Shvuas Min HaTorah, as we've been learning over here in the Gemara, Daf Gimel, Daf Daled, is a case where there's a claim, and the person is Meide, part of this claim, he admits, and the other part of the claim he denies. In such a case, the Torah says you have to swear that that part that you deny, that you pater, in order to pater yourself. There's machlokes between Rav Chia and Rav Sheshes. If regarding that part that you admit, you say to the person that's claiming from you, hey look, here it is, you can go and take it right away. You're not just admitting, but you're making it available for him to collect and take right away. In such a case, Rav Sheshes says, you'll be pater from a shvuah. Because the part that you're admitting to, you admit it, and not only admitting, you're giving it to him. So therefore, the remainder of the claim, for that, you're just a kaifer akel. So there's no shvu min HaTorah in such a case. Rav Chia, though, disagrees and says, even in this case where you admitted and are giving, or making available immediately for the person to take that part that you're admitting to, you're still going to be chayiv in the shvuah of Meide B'Miktsas, because originally, this is a Meide B'Miktsas. You denied part and you admitted to part. That's the machlokes regarding Heilach. Another thing the Gemara brought up before in the end of the Daf Daled Amud Beis, in connection to this machlokes, the halacha of karkois. The halacha of shvuah does not apply when you're swearing on a piece of karka. It's learned from a pasuk, from a klal prat klal, that regarding karka, there's no shvuah. And that's whether, it could be that the kfira, what you deny, is regarding the karka, or what you're admitting is regarding karka, piece of land. Either way, there's no din of shvuah in such a case. Okay, so on this night, the Gemara here asks, according to the opinion that says that when you're admitting and you say, hey, look, here it is, it's available to collect right away. In such a case, you pater from the shvuah of Meide B'Miktsas. Why is it necessary for the Tana to teach that we learn from a pasuk that when it's a case of karka that you would be pater from a shvuah? Hakol karka heilachu. Every time the case is regarding karka, you're admitting that you owe this person something of a piece of land, so that's halach, because this is something which is right here, available for the person that's claiming it from you to collect and take. So if so, you should be pater from a shvuah, even if there's no limud of a pasuk that by karka you pater from a shvuah. So the Gemara answers, Al Maloch, this opinion, this mandama, which is Rav Sheshes, will answer you, yes, it is still necessary to have a pasuk to say that by karka you pater from a shvuah. In a case where the claim is that this karka, this piece of land that's right here, you destroyed it, you dug in it, pits or ditches or a cave, and now the karka is actually not available to use. You have to reimburse me monetarily for this loss that you caused me here. So that's a case where the claim is regarding karka and it's not available right here to collect. Inami, or another case where you need a pasuk to say that there's no shvuah for a karka, and it's not a case of halach, it's not available to collect right away. If the claim was that you owe kalim, vessels, and karkois, a piece of land, and regarding the claim of the vessels that you admitted to, and you denied the karkois. So in this case, what you're admitting to are the kalim, movable items that are not here available to collect, but because you denied karka, the pasuk is teaching that you pater from a shvuah, not only when you made it to karka, but also when the kfir is on karka, so you pater on a shvuah for that as well. So therefore, in this case, there is no halach. What you're being made to is not here available to collect. The Gemara continues to ask on this halacha regarding halach, that over here we see in a braise that in a case of halach, you would be chayiv in a shvuah. So this is a raya to Rav Shesh's opinion. Tashema, so let's bring a raya from the following brayse. The Tani Rami Bachame taught Arba Shomrim, the halacha of the shvuah that there is by the 4 different Shomrim. Tzrichen Kfire B'Miktsas Vayda B'Miktsas. In order for them to be chayav b'shvuah, there has to be a denial of part of the claim and admitting part of the claim. What are the 4 Shomrim? Shoym Echinam, the one that is safeguarding something for someone, for no pay. Va'ashoyel, person that borrows. Neisa Sachar, a person that carries and guards for pay. Va'asaycher, and the renter. So these 4 Shomrim that the Torah speaks about in Parshas Mishpatim, they'll only be chayiv if there's a kfira b'miktsas and haidah b'miktsas. And then what this means is, as Rashi explains over here, is it's because of what it says in the Psukim in Parshas Mishpatim. The Torah speaks about the case of a shvuah regarding a shomer. What's a shvuah by a shomer? So, for example, by a shomer chinam, he's only responsible if something happens to this object as a result of his own negligence, a pshia. So, if he claims that there was a gneva or an aveda, got lost or got stolen, in such a case he's potter. But when he claims that, he's going to have to swear that this is true. That's the shvuah of a shomer. Or by Shomer Sachar, which is responsible for Gneva and Aveda, if he claims that an Einus happened, something out of his control, then he's going to be Potter. But again, he'll have to swear to prove that, or to back up his claim. But now, from the Lashon of the Pasuk, where it says the Shvuah of Shomrim, and there in the Pasuk it also uses the expression Ki Hu Zeh, which is the source of the concept of Meideh B'Miktzas, we see that a Shomer is only going to be Chayav a Shvuah if he's also a Meideh B'Miktzas as well. Otherwise, there's no shvuah of shemrim. So what that means is, besides this detail that we just discussed, that he's swearing for a certain claim that he says that it either got lost or stolen or an einus happened and therefore I'm potter, besides that, there has to be another part to the claim which he's totally denying. Let's say he's saying, this never happened, I never got this from you. And another part of the claim which he's totally admitting. And he's saying, yes, I have it, it's here. This part of it, I have it, it's ready for you to collect and take. So there has to be three parts of it here. A case where there's an absolute kfira, an absolute haidah, so then it's a meideh b'miktzas. And then besides that, there's also a certain part of the claim that he says something happened to it, and I as a shomer am potter for what happened to it. And then you swear meideh b'miktzas for what you were meideh b'miktzas, and then you also swear the shvuah of shemrim. That's what Rami Vachamet taught in the Braise, is the case that you swear. So the Gemara now says in this, so what does that mean? What is the case over here? Lav, don't you think that it would come out? This is a case where what you're admitting to is right here, available to collect. So what this would mean is, if we're talking, for example, about animals, a person gives a shepherd 3 animals to take care of for him. That's what we have to be talking about, 3 different animals. Regarding one of them, he says, the claim that you gave me 3, the third one never happened. You never gave it to me. A second one, he says, oh, that animal I have right here. You can take it. I have it available for you to take. Regarding the third one, he says something happened to it, either a gneva or aveda, if it's a shemer chinam, or an eines, if it's a shemer sachar. So that's seemingly the case that Rami Bachama said in order to be chayiv the shvuah of meideh b'miktzas. That's what we learn from the fact that the Torah puts the detail of meideh b'miktzas in the parsha of the shvuah of shemrim. But now it comes out that we're talking here about a pekodin and an animal that you're admitting to, and you're saying here, oh, that I have, it's available for you to take. That is a case of halach, where what you're admitting to is available. So there should be no shvuah here. So this is a raya to Rav Sheishes, or to Rav Chia rather, sorry. This is actually a raya to Rav Chia. And here you see that even in a case of halach, you still chayiv in a shvuah. So the Gemara says, loi, that's not the case here. Yes, there has to be a kfira b'miktzas, a hidah b'miktzas, and then that part that you claim that it got lost or a einus happened, but still there's no case where you're saying it's available to collect right now. Loi, that's not what's happening here. Rather, the Amalei, this person comes and claims from this Shaimer, Gimel Paris Masartilach. There are 3 different cows that I gave you to keep for me. And his claim from this person is, it's all your negligence. They all died, but it was your negligence. You didn't feed them or whatever it is. So therefore you have to pay me and reimburse me for everything. Now what's the Shaimer responding? In order to explain here, what Rami Bachame taught, that there has to be a kfir b'miktzas, a haidah b'miktzas, then a part that you're claiming that it got lost, that it's not your responsibility. So what he's answering is as follows. The Shaimer says, one of these 3 cows that you claim you gave me, never happened. You only gave me 2. Another one that you claim that you gave me, it's not my responsibility. Meisa ba'ainis. It died, something happened out of my control, and even a shemer sachar is potter in this case. And the another case, meisa b'pshia. That taka died, and it's my negligence. The binish milach, and I have to pay you for that. Not the lav helechu. So this one, yes, he's totally admitting that he has to pay, but it's not here available for the owner to collect. It's a pshia, it's gone, it's dead. So therefore, this could be a case where there's the meideh b'miktzas, and there's also the shvuah of shemrim that comes together in the parsha, but there is no situation of halach here, where what he's admitting to is available to collect. Tashama, the Gemara brings another raya. Now this is actually going back to a previous statement of Rav Chia regarding meideh b'miktzas. Rav Chia on Daf Gimel Amar Aleph said regarding the halacha of meideh b'miktzas, that just like when a person admits part to a claim with his mouth, there the Torah says Yechayev a shvuah, on the other half that you deny. Similar, if you're denying the whole thing, but now Eidim come and testify that you owe part of it, you're also going to be chayiv to make a claim on this other part that you still deny. That was the chiddush of Rab Chia, and the Gemara had a long discussion about this before. He learned it out with a kal v'chomer, or really a tzad hashave, as the Gemara explained before on Daf Gimel and Daf Daled. So now the Gemara is coming back to this halacha. The Tani Avud Rabba Patriki l'Rab Chia kamaisa. The father of Rabba Patriki taught regarding the first case, the first halacha that Rab Chia taught. A person claims from his friend, you owe me a maneh, and this person denies it all. He says, I don't owe you a penny. But now, there are witnesses that come and testify that half of it, 50, you do owe. Now, I would think the halacha here should be, regarding the remainder that you still deny, you should have to swear, as mentioned before, because this is similar to Maida b'miktas. You're not being Maida, but the Eidim testify that you owe that part. So maybe on the other part that you're still denying, on that you should have to swear that you don't have it. Tamad Laimar, so on this, the father of Rabba Patriki learned out from the Pasuk, where it speaks about in the Torah, the Shua of Maida b'miktas, it says, Al kol aveda sheyoymar ki hu zeh. That when a person, regarding an aveda that he had in his possession, and he says, ki hu zeh, that I only have part of it and I don't have the other part. Here, this is the pasuk, the source of Maida b'miktas. So he learns from these words, ki hu zeh, that al hoidas pivat ha'machayvai. Only if the person is being Maida on part of it, then the Torah says you swear. But there's no shvuah of Maida b'miktas in a case where he denies it all, and Eidim are testifying that he owes part of it. So here you have a clear braise from the father of Rabba Patriki that's teaching in this halacha, in this case of Eidim, that testify that you owe part of it, that you potter. And Rab Chia before said that you chayiv. So the Gemara says, Masnite, Karamis, Aleder Rab Chia. You're asking a question on Rab Chia's halacha from a braise. Rab Chia, Tanahu, Upalik, Rab Chia himself is a Tana, and he argues on what it teaches here in this braise in the name of the father of Rabba Patriki. So the Gemara says, but for Krakama, the question though is, he brought a drasha from a pasuk. The pasuk says, Yoymar ki hu zeh, only if he's Maida with his mouth, then you're going to be chayiv shvuah, not if Eidim testify on that part. So the Gemara answers, the raya from the pasuk, there's no raya from there. Hahu l'maida miktas hatayna. That pasuk is not extra. It's coming to teach the halacha itself, that when you Maida part with your mouth, that you have to swear on the other part. That's the halacha of Maida b'miktas. There's no source in this pasuk to be memayit somebody that Eidim are testifying against part of the claim here. The Gemara explains, V'avur de Rabba Patriki amalach. The father of Rabba Patriki that did learn from this pasuk also to exclude a case where Eidim testify against part of the claim, about part of the claim that is. So he'll tell you, Ksiv hu. The pasuk says hu, and Ksiv zeh. Two different words here, it says in the pasuk. That could have just stopped there. You would have understood that this is saying that a Maida b'miktas is chayiv and a shvuah. Why does it say the two expressions of hu and zeh? Chad l'Maida b'miktas atayna. One of them is coming to say that a Maida b'miktas is chayiv and a shvuah. V'chad la'das Eidim. And the other one is coming to say regarding the case where Eidim testify that in such a case the potter, to exclude that in such a case you would be potter from a shvuah. That's the limud from both of these words here. According to Rab Chia, what does he do with this extra word? There's hu and there's zeh, and he holds yechayiv and a shvuah, whether it's Maida b'miktas, whether it's with Eidim. So what does you learn out from the extra word? Chad l'Maida b'miktas hatayna. One is coming to teach the halacha of Maida b'miktas that you swear. V'chad l'Maida mimin hatayna. The other word, zeh, is coming to say that you have to be Maida in the same min, the same thing that is being claimed from you. As we'll see soon, the Gemara is going to bring the example. If what's being claimed from you is that you owe me a certain amount of wheat, and you're admitting to the person, I owe you a certain amount of sa'irim, barley. So even though he's being Maida b'miktas, but he's being Maida b'miktas of a completely different type of thing. In such a case, there's no shvuah of Maida b'miktas, because what's being claimed from you, you're not being Maida in at all. You're denying it altogether. You're just admitting to something completely different. That's not called a Maida b'miktas. That's what we're learning out from this pasuk that it says zeh. You have to be Maida in this same min that's being claimed from you. Ve'edach, the other opinion that learned already from the extra word, the other halacha, that in a case where Eidim testify against you that you will not have to swear, Meide mimina taine lesle. This halacha that Rab Chia learns out, that only if you meide from the same on the same min that the taine was from you, that then you make a shvua. He doesn't hold this halacha. V'sava like Rab Gamliel. He actually holds like Rab Gamliel's opinion. The Tanan, as we learned Rab Gamliel, that it says taane chitin v'haydolei b'sayden potter. In a case where what's being claimed from you is wheat, and you're being meide to barley, to part of the claim, but for barley. In such a case, the Tanakama says potter, as mentioned before. You're not being made to what was claimed from you. You're being made to something completely different, so you're potter. That was the limit from the pasuk. But for Rabbi Gamliel, mechayev. Rabbi Gamliel says you're still going to be chayev in this case, and therefore, in such a case, you don't need any limud. He follows according to Rabbi Gamliel's opinion that says that you're still chayev. The Gemara brings now here an incident that happened. Ahuraya, there was a shepherd. Every day, people would give him their animals that he should take care of them, and they would give it to him in front of witnesses. So it should be clear exactly what they gave him. He shouldn't be able to deny anything. Now, one day, what happened? Yom Echad, Masrulei B'loi Sadi. They gave him animals to take care of without any witnesses being present. So then at the end, what happens then? Omar Lahu, he tells the people that come and claim, give us back the animals that you were taking care of today. This person came and said, never happened, I don't have it. Now, also Sadi, witnesses came along, Asidu Bey, and they testified against this person, the two of those animals that he got from these people, two of them he ate for himself. So this is the case that we just discussed. Rab Chia and the father of Rabbi Patriki were arguing about when there's a person that's kaifer hakoil, he denies the whole thing. But now here Eidim are testifying regarding part of the claim that he actually did eat it and he is responsible. So what's the halacha here? So Amar Rab Zayda said, Im Isa, Rab Chia kamaisa, if what the first halacha that Rab Chia taught before on Daf Gimel is true, mishtaba ashara. So regarding those Eidim, those two animals that the Eidim testified that he ate, of course he has to pay that back. But regarding the remainder that he still denies, for that he's going to have to swear in order to pater himself, as Rab Chia said. Abaye asked on this, in this case, are you saying that if it's true, the halacha of Rab Chia is true, then he would have to swear on the remainder? But this person is clearly a gazlan. He was caught by Eidim that he ate these animals that he says he doesn't have. In such a case, how could he swear? If we suspect him for stealing and we see them, not only suspect him, we have Eidim that he stole, so then he'll swear falsely as well. What's the point of having him swear? So Rab Zayda answered, what I meant to say is that he himself is not going to actually have to swear. In such a case, when a person is chayav shvuah min atayra, but he can't swear because, like in this case, we suspect him for lying, what happens is, Chachamim instituted that now the other person in this din Torah, the other baldin, he has to swear against you to be maitzi the mom from you. Usually, you swear and you pati yourself. That's the shvuah min atayra. But if you can't swear, Chachamim instituted that now the other person can swear and go and collect from you. Connect the one that's against him. That's what Rab Zayda meant to say. That in this case, the other person against him will swear, the people that gave him the animals will swear and will collect their animals from him. So, Frekte Gemara on this hashtanami, but now as well, the lesel that Rab Chia. Even if we would not hold of the halacha that Rab Chia said, that there's a shvuah min atayra here, because this case is similar to Bava Metzia. Nevertheless, nechayvim mit Rav Nachman. Why shouldn't he have to swear the shvuah that Rav Nachman taught? And that's Rav Nachman taught, even in a case of a kaifer hakoil, when you deny the entire thing, there's also a shvuah. The Tanan, we learned in the Mishnah, mana libi yadcha, a person claimed a mana from his friend. And he answered, Ein lecha biyadi, I don't have anything of it. He denied the whole thing. Potter. So min atayra you potter, there's no Bava Metzia, you kaifer hakoil, you potter. Rav Nachman, on this Rav Nachman said, mashbiyin oisei shvuas hesis, that he does have to swear a shvuas hesis. He does have to swear a shvuah that Chachamim instituted. It's called a shvuas hesis. The word hesis means that, Rashi says, he sisei Chachamim lekach sisei lahaydes. This is to convince, to persuade this person to be maida when he's kaifer the whole thing. So even though in Atayra there's no reason for a shvuah here, and the Gemara explained this before on Daf Gimel, why not? But nevertheless, Chachamim saw that people lie and deny the whole thing. So Chachamim wanted the person to swear to back up his claim, and if he knows he has to swear, so then he'll think twice about this, and this will persuade him to be maida. That's the Chachamim instituted. If so, even without, why did Rab Zayda say, if it's true what Rab Chia said, then he's chayiv in a shvuah, and in this case, since he can't swear because we see he's a gazlan, so then Kenegdai will have to swear. The one that's the other person in this din Torah will have to swear. But we have anyways a shvua of Rav Nachman, a shvua is Hesses, even for a Kaifer HaKoil. This is the Gemara, the Rav Nachman Takanti. This shvua with the Rabbanon of Rav Nachman, Chachamim instituted this at a much later time in this Mana Gemara. L'takante loy avdinon. Chachamim did not institute this takana that when you can't swear, that now the other Baldin swears against you, it does not apply in this case. It only applies to a shvua min atayre. Then, if you can't swear, the person against you swears. But in this case, where the whole shvua that's originally here, that you're chayiv in, is a takana with the Rabbanon, the other person swearing against you, a takana on top of a takana, Chachamim did not institute on this. Gemara has another question over here. Gemara now is asking on Abaya that was discussing this case with Rab Zera, and Abaya was asking Rab Zera, how could you make this shepherd swear if Adam testified against him and we caught him? We know he's a Gazlan, so how could we trust his shvua? So the Gemara asks, why did he have to ask because of that point? He should have asked based on a different point. The Havale Roya, this is a shepherd. Va'amar Rav Yehuda, and Rav Yehuda said regarding all shepherds, Stam Roya Pasal. That the assumption is that a shepherd is someone that steals, takes the animals to eat food from other people's private properties, and therefore he's assumed to be a gazlan, and therefore a stam raya is possible for edus, and therefore he can't swear as well. So Abai should have simply asked Rab Zera, this is a shepherd, and a shepherd we can't have him swear at all. Why did he point out that over here there's edim, and therefore he's going to be possible? And says the Gemara like Kasha, that's not a question either. This halacha that Rav Yehuda is taught, that stam, a shepherd, is pasal eidos, that's a shepherd that has his own animals and he wants to save money for himself, and therefore he allows his animals to go, people's private property to eat there. That's a person that is going to be pasal eidos. And da'alma. However, over here we're talking about a shepherd that's taking other people's animals, and therefore it doesn't matter to him whether he's not interested in sinning and taking these animals into other people's properties. And there's no assumption that he's a gazlan. That's why Abai didn't ask based on this. The Gemara says if you're not going to make this distinction, so then how could we ever hire a shepherd and give him our animals to take care of it for us? But the pasuk says, you're not allowed to cause a yid to stumble on an aveda. That's what's learned from this pasuk. When you cause another yid to do an aveda, and over here, if you're going to say that we can assume that a shepherd is going to take these animals into other people's private properties, how are you giving him your animals to take care of, and you're causing him to now stumble on this aveda to steal? So therefore, must be elo chazake ein adam chayte v'loy loy. A person does not sin if he himself is not gaining something out of this. So therefore, the whole assumption that a shepherd will take his animals to a private property if it's the person's own animals and he wants to save money on this. This is the conclusion of the discussion of the sugya of Bava Metzia and the sugya of Halach and so on. Okay, now the Gemara goes back to the Mishnah where it discussed the halacha of Shnayim Oichsim B'Talis, two people grabbing onto a talis. Each one claims Kula Shali, and the Mishnah says the halacha is that each one has to swear before he gets half of the talis, Yachloiku. And the lashon of the shvur was Zeh Yishava She'elni Ba Pachis Mechetzia. This individual swears, I have in this talis no less than half, and the other one swears. So here the Gemara is going to explain what exactly is the meaning of the language of this shvur. What is the meaning of the language of this shvua? Is he swearing that I have ownership, it does belong to me? Is that what he's trying to say? Or is he actually saying that I do not have anything in this talis? That's how you can interpret the words that he swears. If he says, Ein li ba pachas mechetzia, what does that sound like? You could also interpret that to mean that I don't even own less than half. Meaning, what does he own? Nothing. So if this person would be swearing this, so this is not something that would prove his claim. If he's Taka Ganav and he owns nothing, so he's swearing, I don't own anything. I don't even own less than half as well. So what kind of a shvu is this? What does the language of this shvu mean? Amar Rav Huna, so Rav Huna explains, this is what the shvu has to be. The Amar, he says, shvu sheyesh li ba. I swear that I have a part, ownership in this talis. And the ownership that I have in this talis is no less than half. So therefore it's clear that what he means to say is that I do own in this talis, but no less than half. Not that I don't own even less than half and I own nothing. So therefore the shvua is a shvua that he's swearing to back up his claim, that he's saying, Kol Shali, that it's all his. Why doesn't he just swear exactly what his claim is to back up his claim? Let him swear that the entire talis is mine. So the Gemara explains, no, that he can't swear because umi avinun le'kula. Is he getting the entire talis? There's another person here that's holding on to the talis as well, and he also is swearing that the entire thing is his. And what we're doing here is we're splitting it. So if each one is going to swear that the entire thing is his, and now Bezdin only gives half to them, it's Allah's and the Bezdin. Like a person swears the whole thing is his, and the Bezdin only gives them half. So he can't swear that the entire thing is his. So the fragt the Gemara, so why doesn't he just swear a simpler expression, a simpler language, and just say, I swear that half is mine? Says the Gemara, no, he can't swear that as well, because marale lidibure. Because then what he's swearing is opposite or different than what his claim is. His claim is it's all mine, and now he swears that half is mine. How could he swear different than what he's actually claiming? But now as well, when he uses this lashon in the shvua, I don't own in this less than half, isn't that also different than what his actual claim is? He's claiming the whole thing is his, kulishali, and then he swears, I don't own less than half. So that's not what his claim was. It sounds like that he's claiming I don't have less than half, which could mean that he owns half, but it's not like what his claim was, that he owns the whole thing. So the Gemara answers, no, the Omar, what he says is kula shali, the entire thing is mine. And according to the Bezdin's psaktin, the Bezdin's going to say that they want to give me only half. That's the halacha of Yachleiku. So therefore, according to you, the Bezdin's words, I swear that I have a part on this talis, and my part is no less than half. That's the shvua. According to somebody shining, this is actually the lashon of the entire shvua. He has to say, he's swearing that it's kula shali, and l'divreichem, I have in it no less than half. But according to most Rishonim, he's claiming kula shali, and then he clarifies that his shvua that he's making here, that I don't have in it less than half, is l'divreichem. But the actual lashon of the shvua is like what it says in the Mishnah, ein li ba pachas mechetzia. And it's not a contradiction to his actual claim. Now, so the Gemara says, since both of them are grabbing onto the talis, shvua zu lama. So why is there at all a chiyuv of shvua here, as the Gemara already discussed this before in Daf Gimel? Why don't we just split it between them? So as the Gemara already brought before over there, Rabbi Yechanan explained, shvua zu takanas chachamim. The shvua here in the Mishnah, chachamim instituted that each one of them should swear, sh'liyehei kol echad ve'echad haylach v'teikev b'talitza sh'chaveiroi. So each one of these people, or people in the street actually, should not just go and grab onto someone's talis and claim that I found half of it, I found it all, it's mine, I bought it, it's mine. If you're not going to impose a shvua here, when there's such a kind of a claim, and just split it, then people will just go and grab and claim and try their luck to be able to get part of the talis. So therefore, Chachamim imposed the shvua, so a person should think twice before he does this. If that's why Chachamim are instituting a shvua, because we're basically suspecting that otherwise a person, or suspecting this person, that he would go and grab someone's talis. So shouldn't we say, Migu, the chashud amemayna, since we're suspecting this person regarding this money here, that he's stealing it, he's grabbing it, we should suspect him also that he would swear falsely. So how does it help you to have him swear that this will stop him, this will prevent him of grabbing it for himself? If he's going to steal, he'll swear falsely as well. What's the point of a shvua? Says the Gemara, answers the Gemara, there's no such a rule. Even if we suspect someone to steal, that doesn't mean that we're suspecting him to swear falsely as well. He may steal, but he's not going to swear falsely. Taisus here brings two pshatim in this. One pshat Taisus says is because the isser of swearing falsely is very, very severe in people's eyes. When the Eibishter said, Le'sis Hashem Hashem Lakecha Lashav, which is the isser of not swearing falsely in Hashem's name, the whole entire world trembled, as the Gemara says in Shavuos, Ha'ilam Nizdazeya. So therefore this is something which is very severe in people's eyes, and even a person that might go ahead and steal, but he's not going to swear falsely. So therefore this will prevent him of stealing. Another pshat Taisus brings from Rabbi Yehuda Chassid, that even if a person is ready to steal, but to steal and to swear falsely, that he won't do. That will stop him. So even if the isser of swearing falsely is similar in a person's eyes like stealing, but if after he steals, he's also going to have to swear falsely about this, he's not going to do both of them. So therefore, we're not going to suspect the person to swear falsely. The Eloi Taimachin. Now the Gemara proves this. If you're not going to say that this is true, The fact that Torah says regarding every Maida b'miktzas that you have to swear for this, why does he have to swear? Name, shouldn't we say the same thing? The problem that we asked before, if you suspect this person of lying on that part of the loan that he denies, and therefore you're making him swear for this, you should also be chayshid him that the shvur that he swears is falsely. What's the point of having him swear if you want him to swear because you suspect him of stealing? If you suspect him to steal, he would lie as well and swear falsely. So therefore, it must be that we're not suspecting him of stealing. That the fact that we suspect him of stealing, he's chashad amamayna, we're still not chayshid him to swear falsely, as we just said. So says the Gemara, no. That's not a raya. Hasam, over there, we already explained this before on Daf Gimel, ishtamutika mishtametle. There, we're not chayshid this person of being a thief, a liar, that's interested in stealing. Over there, this is a person that just doesn't have the money to pay, and he's avoiding to pay right now, and therefore he's denying part of the loan, and he's going to admit to it later. He's just trying to avoid payment right now. K'derabbe, and this is something that Rabbe taught. As we ever had before in Daf Gimel, Rabbi taught this halacha when a person is denying part of the loan. What's happening over here is he's trying to avoid payment. But we're not chayshid him of stealing. So therefore, in such a case, we have him steal so that he should come forward and admit to it right now. And the Gemara brings also another raya to this of something that we learned before. Teida, I'll prove this point to you. The Amar Ravida Barav and Amar Rav Chiste. Ravida Barav said in the name of Rav Chiste, HaKoifer b'milveh kosher leidus. A person that denies a loan and then he's caught with this lie, Adim come and say that this person lied, he's still kosher leidus. And the reason for this is because, as we just said, because he didn't mean to deny the whole thing. This is a loan that he got, and he spent the money, he doesn't have it to pay back, and therefore he's still going to be kosher leidus. The pikadain, if a person though denies a pikadain that someone says that he gave you, in such a case, pasal leidus. You're going to be pasal leidus because you're denying a pikadain that you have. You don't spend this money, you have this pikadain in your possession. So when you deny it, so over here, you're a gazlan, you're a liar, and in such a case, you'll be pasal leidus. So we see over here this concept that Ravida Bar often says that when you're kaifer alone, you're kosher leidus because he's just trying to avoid or delay the payment. Going back to the case we had before. The case that we had before that Rami Bachame taught, that the Torah says by the Shemrim that they swear, there has to be also a kfire, denying part of the claim and admitting part of the claim. And the four cases of the Shemrim Ra, the Shemrim Chinam, V'ashayel, Noisesacha, V'aseiche. So in this case, he has to be denying part of the claim. Why shouldn't we say here as well that this person is suspecting him regarding part of this money, so he should be suspected for swearing falsely? And we're asking this question here based on what Rami Bachame says, as was explained before already on Amar Aleph, regarding what Rami Bachame teaches here, that there has to be a part of this claim that this person is totally denying. And this is a pekad in which he was given and he has in his possession, and he's denying it. He's saying that I don't have it, or you never gave it to me. So this is an outright lie, and therefore, if you're suspecting him for this, so then what's the point of having him swear? So the Gemara answers, Hasam Nami, no, in that case as well, Ishtamutika Mishtamit. Over here as well, this part that he's totally denying, this is not something that he's denying that he has available in his possession, and he's an outright liar and he's denying this. Rather, the case is, it's something that he's denying, as the Gemara already explained in Amar Aleph, he doesn't have it anymore. And the claim from him is that it's his negligence, but he's claiming that it was an einus and he doesn't have it anymore. Or so in such a case, Savar, he thinks to himself, Mashkachna leganev, let me find this ganev, or if it was a case of a ganev by a shem chinam, that he would be pater, and he thinks to himself, let me find this ganev vitafisnale, and I'll grab the ganev and I'll be able to return it. So therefore he's denying this right now, and he's saying that I don't have it right now, but really, he's not trying to steal. He's just hoping that I'll be able to recover this item and give it back. Inami mashkachnale ba'agam. Or if it got lost, he hopes and thinks to himself that I'll find it in an agam, in a place in some swamp somewhere where it got lost, and I'll be able to return it. Or my sinale, and I'll bring it to the owner. That's the case over here. But the point is that this is not something that he has available in his possession right now. So the Gemara now asks him this and says, Ihachi. If this is what you're telling me regarding a case where there is a pekadain and a person is denying part of this pekadain, then in such a case, it's not something where we are suspecting this person for lying, because he may not even have it in his possession right now. If so, Why did Rav Idi bar Ravin teach that a person that's kaifer in a pekadon, he would be pasal eidus because he has it and he's denying it and therefore he's a liar? But we just said that even by a pekadon, it's possible that it got stolen or it got lost and he doesn't have it right now, and he's just delaying and hoping that he'll recover it. Answers the Gemara. Sorry, again, this is part of the question. If the Gemara namish, why wouldn't we say that the person is just avoiding to pay this? Somebody thinks to himself, I'll go and search for this item and I'll find it and then I'll pay it back. Answers the Gemara, this, that Rav Yida bar Ravin taught when a person denies a pekadon that he'll be pasal eidos, kagoin dasa sadi. That's only in a case where Edom come along, and they testify against this person. That we know that this person is denying and he's lying and he's a ganef, he has it in his house. And he knows that he has it in his house. Or this person is holding it in his hands. We know that he has it in his pocket. In such a case, the person's caught red-handed as a liar. That's when Rav Yida bar Ravin taught that this person would be pasal eidus, but not by every kaifer b'pikadon. One more question let's learn here. The Gemara asks, Eloha d'amar Rav Huna. This halacha that Rav Huna taught regarding a person that has a pekadon in his possession. This person has to swear that he doesn't have this object in his possession. When the person claims that there was an oinus that happened, or a geneva, vaveda, and it got stolen from him, he doesn't have it. So besides this, the person has to swear that he doesn't have it in his possession. In other words, we're suspecting him that he may have it in his possession, and he just wants to keep it for himself, and therefore he's saying an oinus happened or it got stolen. So we're suspecting him that he has it. So shouldn't we say, if you're suspecting him that he stole it, I should suspect him that he would lie as well. So from here, from the fact that I make a person swear that he doesn't have this item in his possession, that should be a proof that we suspect him that for stealing, he's but he's not chashad hashvuasa. We don't suspect him that he would lie. Says the Gemara, Hasam Nami, over there in that case, this person is Maida Hatta for himself. And he says that this is not the end of the world, I'm not really stealing here. Why? Because he says, I'm ready to pay for this. The case over here actually is that this person is claiming that what happened is something that's going to be my responsibility and I'll pay you for it. In such a case, we're suspecting him that he may want to keep it for himself, but this person is ready to pay. So in such a case where he's ready to pay, he's not a ganef. He thinks to himself, I'm going to keep this item because I like it for myself and I'll pay for it. So therefore, in this case, he's not chosher to be a ganev. So therefore, there is a point in having him swear, and he'll come forward and admit this if it's not true. Amalei Ravacha asks Ravina on this, but he's over on another lav, even if he's not over on the lav of Leisigzal, and we're not suspecting him of stealing, but he's over on the lav of Leisachmait, that you're not allowed to desire something that your friend owns and then take it for yourself, and that's even if you're paying for this. So if he's going to be over on the lav of Leisachmait, and that's what you're suspecting him for, so then what's the point of having him swear? If you're suspecting him that he'll do that, Leisachmait, he may swear falsely as well. Answers the Gemara, Leisachmait le'inchi b'loi dami mashmalahu. Leisachmai, this lav of Leisachmai, people think that this is only a lav if you're stealing it and you're not paying for it. And so therefore this person thinks that since I'm paying for it, then it's allowed. I'm allowed to keep it. And therefore he doesn't think he's being over on any yisr. So therefore there's a point of having him swear and he won't swear falsely. There's actually a machlekes Rishonim regarding the expression of the Gemara here. The Gemara uses the expression Leisachmai le'inchi, b'lei dami mashmalu. Some Rishonim actually hold that Leisachmai is only if you're not paying for it. If you're paying for it, then there's no lav minat Torah, at least, of leisachmait. But other Rishonim say that minat Torah, there is a lav of leisachmait even when you pay for it. But this person is not aware of that, and therefore he's not going to be ready to make a shuva's sheker. He thinks he's not being over on any lav, not leisigzol, not leisachmait, and therefore there is a point of having him swear to motivate him to come forward and admit to the truth.